Anyways, I bet you're all excited to have a look at the new clan, the Wurmkin. I've done a few runs with these on the test realm, so I feel comfortable starting somewhere around Covenant rank 15 for them, and we'll go up once we understand them a bit better, probably in jumps of like 3 or 5 or so we don't play every Covenant level. Just start a bit lower to get a little bit of a feeling for them. Yeah, the logbook basically adds plus 60 crowns, including crowns for divinity. Yeah, you get 5 new clan combinations with Wurmkin, times 2 for the exile champion, so that's 10. Then 5 new combinations for every clan with the Wurmkin, which is another 10 more crowns. That's 20 already. And then for every old clan combination, there's another 50 crowns in total. So plus 70 crowns you can earn now. That's pretty sick. We're gonna take a while to unlock them all, but I will definitely do it, so yeah, let's jump in. Let's play these Wurmkin. So, as Wurmkin you always start with the Worm Tooth. Clan starter cards are infused. 1 card in each draft pack will be infused. So you can see our starter cards, here Shade Splitter and Sharded, are infused. And infused has the effect, when played, the current floor will gain 1 shard. Not to be confused with packed shards. I don't know what the official name for these things is. Let's call them crystals for now until someone points me to it. So we have apply Reap 1 to enemy units on the Shard Trap. Reap means at the end of turn, the unit takes damage equal to the amount of charged echoes. That's how they are called. Equal to the amount of charged echoes for each stack of Reap. Charged echoes add echoes by playing infused cards. The Wurmkin use echoes to power spells and abilities. Echoes can exceed maximum echoes on a floor, but excess echoes will be removed at the end of turn. We have Perils of Production from Umbra, and we have Broken Memories. 0 cost consume. Return a consumed spell to the top of your draw pile. We don't have any other consumed spells, so that's currently not gonna do a whole lot, but we'll certainly find some consume cards. As you can see, we have a new node on every ring. These are the ones that interact with our pack charts. Thank you, Rossum. Enjoy your dinner. Oh, we can also show our unit's essence. Interesting. We'll look into that in just a moment. When drafting new cards, I'm not sure. We'll see about that. Light's Gift and Forever Flame are the starting artifacts we can choose from. Always happy to have a Light's Gift or a Forever Flame. These are both pretty tempting. We're currently on Covenant rank 15, so we have to deal with top floor days, but not with capacity reduction on a floor. We also have to deal with bosses gain increased power per shard, per packed shard we have. I'm gonna go with Forever Flame. We could also take another artifact for 15 pack shards. I'm gonna do that, just so I have some shards to show off some of the new things that are gonna go on here. Wing clippings, wing technology, winged steel. I'm gonna go with winged steel. The change covenant for shards. On covenant level 10, bosses gain increased power per shard. Shards are always gonna be available on every covenant level, but it's covenant 10 increases the effect the shards have on bosses. I don't think any other covenant level affects how shards work. Okay, we have the Infector. Strike, gain an echo, and spine and the Decayer for the Spine Chief. Inspire, apply Reap 2 to enemy units. Inspire triggers when echoes are added to the floor, and it triggers once for each echo added. So we could either increase our echo generation or gain basically AoE damage from generating echoes on the Spine Chief's floor. I'm gonna go with Infector here. Not that we have a whole lot of synergy with that right now, but I like having some echo generation because there are a lot of cards we can use to make these echoes work. Here we have the shard threat level that roughly shows how challenging this fight is gonna be on top of what it normally is, based on the pack shards you have. Currently we are probably gonna face a couple sharded enemies. The boss will be a little bit stronger, but not a whole lot. Let's take the challenge for a unit draft. Build up charged echoes to empower Wurmkin units and spells on their floor. Echoes that exceed the available slots will disappear at the end of turn. Play infused cards to add echoes to their floor. The Wurmkin starting artifact Wormtooth applies infuse to starter cards and 1 card per draft. I'm gonna set up a bit higher so I have more time to prepare. I will apply some Reap here, and because this was charged we get 1 echo here. So now we have 1 echo on this floor, the enemy has Reap 2, so we'll deal 2 damage to them at the end of turn. Sadly, the Trusted Priest will heal that. At the end of turn, yeah. As soon as we end our turn, this will happen, so this kills the enemy before they can strike, I think. That's how it works. I don't want to use the perils right now, I still need my energy. And here we have a sharded enemy. The Trusted Priest. As you can see, their stats are a bit higher than usual. 5-1 becomes 10-10, so heals 10, has 10 health, has a spell shield, and has extinguished, deal 5 damage to your front unit. So if we just let them pass to the pyre, we will take 5 damage to them, even though this enemy is not normally able to actually deal damage to us. I'm gonna Reap 1 on everyone, so the Disciple Foot Soldier dies. I'm also gonna apply... That doesn't really matter now, does it? I'm gonna kill off this Trusted Priest. Once we have 4 shards here, they will take 12 damage. Reap 3 times 4 shards is 12 damage to them, so they will die. Here we have no shards, so there will be no damage dealt, but that's fine. Let's also feed our Spine Chief a bit. Yeah, every specific enemy has exactly 1 type of upgrade from the shard. Let's apply some more Reap and some more Shards on the top. So we can deal higher damage to the Apprentice of Light. That will currently take 6 damage plus 20 from our Spine Chief. Actually 9 damage. Because of our Strike ability. We can't quite take them down right here. Now we can. With the additional Reap, we are gonna take them out. And this one as well. I do want to shard trap this floor, so the Disciple Foot Soldier takes some damage. As you can see, this boss is shard enhanced. The boss has been enhanced with the power of the Pact Shards. This added Trample to this boss. And 15 armor. Also increased their stats a little bit. Let's also apply Sharded to the boss, so they will take extra damage in floors with echoes. More Reap. Let's also generate some echoes on this floor. And Umbra Morsel is now 6 health. We can feed them to the Apprentice of Light, otherwise they will gain a damage shield. Let's just add some damage here. Let's slow down to see how the Reap works. So as you can see, the combat fully resolves first, and only then Reap deals its damage. So it's only at the end of the fight, not actually at the end of turn. Now every boss has different upgrades on their... just gonna consume that, should have done so earlier. Every boss has different upgrade from Shards, not everyone is gonna gain Trample. And this boss now has 12 Reap, and we have right now 7 shards, but every hit from the Spine Chief would add another shard. So with Lifesteal we would have 1 hit for free, then another 6 hits. So we would add another 7 shards, so we would have 14 shards times 13. So you can see in Relentless combo that Reap damage can really add up with something like Echoes generating Spine Chief. Echo Infusion. Extract 1. As an additional cost to play this card, Echoes will be spent. So while this has no energy cost, you need to have an Echo on the floor you're playing it on to play it. And it applies plus 10 health, which is a really good buff for a 0 cost card, but you need to be able to pay the extract cost. Then Shelter. This one is infused. It's always going to be a random card in each draft pack. This time it hit Shelter. Apply armor 2 per echo to friendly units, to all friendly units. That's not bad, especially in our... especially on our champion floor, when the champion is gonna generate additional echoes. And there's Echo Transfer. Extract 2, apply plus 15 attack. I do want some defense. We could go with Echo Infusion or Shelter for that. But honestly, I prefer Shelter here, I think. Because it's also infused. Doesn't extract. Although we could probably go with good extract. But it also protects our morsels from sweet balls or thorns. So we can more easily feed our Spine Chief. Here we have a Prismal Dust that's infused. But I'm not sure if I even want the Prismal Dust in this deck. Although, longer relentless combat with the Spine Chief means more shards, means more reap damage. So that's something we could consider. I like the Crucible extension to be honest here. I would like to be able to have more units behind the Spine Chief, so I'm gonna go with that. We also have infused on our unit drafts. Hi Wolf Warrior, welcome. Kinhost Carapace. Infused. 1 cost. One capacity, 0 cost actually. Summon, plus 10 attack, plus 10 health, and plus 1 capacity used per echo. So if we play this on a 4 echo floor, that would be a 40-50, but would take up a lot of capacity. That's not a problem if we want to summon it behind our champion. We also have Crucible Collector and First of Kin. First of Kin being a 25-55 with Edge plus 5 attack. Edge triggers whenever a card is consumed on this floor. That works particularly well with our Broken Memories, but we currently don't have any cards with Consume. That can be a decent scaling unit, I assume. It's also usually 3 cost. The Forever Flame makes it cheaper. Crucible Collector would also be interesting as a tank for our Spine Chief. So we could acquire even more echoes and increase the reap damage even more. And it could also be a tank for us. If I want to build around reap entirely, then Crucible Collector would certainly fit in well. Kinhost Carapace is just a good unit, but not really on the first turn most of the time. I'm gonna go with Crucible Collector here. I wanna make the most out of my champion. Oh, I forgot to look at the unit essences. So the unit essence for a Crucible Collector is plus 10 attack, plus 10 health, and lifesteal 3. So we could use the Divine Temple to combine units together. And if we use the Crucible Collector as fodder, the unit we upgrade with it will gain 10 attack, 10 health, and lifesteal 3. Trains the odds are plus 5, plus 15. And every unit has their own essence for infusion. We do want to be able to apply Reap very consistently, so maybe upgrading these Shards to be lower cost could be something. We could also look at a Wurmkin unit. Let's go to the right. Yeah, here we can look at the unit essences. Inspire, gain plus 2 attack and armor 2. Ooh, that would be interesting with our Spine Chief, because every time the Spine Chief attacks, this one will gain 2 armor and 2 attack. If we use its essence, however, it will give plus 15 health, plus 1 capacity, and inspire rage 2. Which is a bit different from what it normally does. And the Kinhost Carapace will just get plus 10 on summon as a summon trigger. Which is interesting if you, for example, want to reform things or stuff like that. Shard Soul Carver's essence seems great. Yeah, it does. The plus 1 capacity though, that's a big deal. I want to try out that Shard Soul Carver. It seems like it would work very well with our champion. Let's take a look at the Citadel here. We have the option to just get a Purge Stone, upgrade a spell with plus 1 minus 1 energy cost and Purge. Or a Twin Stone, upgrade a spell to gain create a copy with Purge and plus 1 energy when played. Or we could engage Pact, sacrifice a unit to infuse its essence into another unit. So we could, for example, make this Crucible Collector a 3-size unit with 35 health and Inspire Rage 2, which would be kind of nice with our build. We could also do it the other way around, make this Shard Soul Carver a plus 25-40 unit with Lifesteal 3 on top of its ability. So these are options we have. Of course, this does not take an upgrade slot away from the unit. You can still upgrade it twice after that. Let's actually try this. Let's sacrifice a Shard Soul Carver and enhance this Crucible Collector with it. The text in the text box doesn't quite update. It's in the tooltip now. But the capacity and stats do update. Inspire Rage 2. Let's synthesize our Crucible Collector. This is now really pretty much our carry unit. We're gonna want them on the same floor as Spine Chief, which means we probably want capacity, because the Crucible extension alone is not gonna be enough. And then we want to get them some morsels for lifesteal and a lot of Inspire for damage. Is where I'm currently at. Sharded upgrades, shelter upgrades. Shelter doesn't work great with lifesteal, so I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's always going to be infused, so it will help with triggering Inspire. Yeah, we have acquired 25 new Pact Shards, so it's now red level. Let's cost reuse Crucible extension, because that's what we are gonna use to make room for morsels. We can't use the plus 20 and consume. Do I want to refresh to get another cost reduction? Yes, I do. I want one of these shards to be 0 cost, so we can more easily apply some reap. We could buy other upgrades here, but if we add any more shards at this point, things are gonna get pretty dangerous in this next fight. As you can see, threat level extreme. I'm still gonna take the challenge. Currently we don't have the space to put those on the same floor, so I'm actually gonna burn through my Spine Chief probably, and I am... Well, we could have had it if we wanted to. I'm gonna try to Inspire on the top floor with my spells to give Rage to the Crucible Collector. As you can see, this Discipled Foot Soldier upgraded to gain multi-strike. That's pretty scary. They also have 5 health, making them a bit harder to kill. Let's make sure they don't survive. So we have an easier time dealing with them. We still have no consume cards to take advantage of the broken memories, so let's just remove that. We're also... This guy has sweep. Ooh. 470 sweep. That's pretty scary as well. Let's block some damage with the Train Steward. Keep inspiring and feeding on the top floor. Let's apply as much reap as possible on this floor so we can potentially deal with this disciple. And once again, actually all the damage is sweep, so never mind. Yeah, let's apply more reap to this guy so we can bring them down to a reasonable level. This boss has... The spikes are from the Conduit Redirector, 2 spell shield, sweep, slightly more attack, slightly more health. I'm gonna go with... What's left in the deck? Shelter, huh? I want that Conduit Redirector dead right now. So we can maybe do a bit more on the next floor. And then we trigger more incant on the top floor. Oh, Rubble Morsel. Now it has Ether gains +2/+2. Which is frankly huge. Let's also shelter them so the morsel survives the damage from the sweeper. Any other morsels have been changed? Morsel Excavator also is now +3, Magma Morsel is now +6. So yeah, the morsels in general became quite a bit more powerful. If we shard trap and then sharded on the boss, I do want this Disciple Protector to die, so I'm gonna use another sharded here. This I'm gonna use for the Inspire to give them Rage. And then Shelter here for more Reap damage, because we have Lifesteal on the top anyways. And a little bit of extra Rage. Nice. And we do have the win here on the top floor. Infused? Infused is when played on the current floor will gain when played the current floor will gain 1 echo. Bogfly infused +5 attack per echo and 1 capacity. That's interesting, but we currently don't really have capacity to spare. Hosting Kin. 0 cost, extract 1, deal 13 damage to a unit and move it to the back. And there's another Shard Trap. The DLC has this new clan, the Wurmkin, with new champions, new units, new spells, an entire clan. Relics as well. There are new general relics, there are new cavern events, and there's a new final boss that we can do after the Seraph. There's also these pack charts. It's a lot. There's a lot. I feel like this is a skip. I would take the Shard Trap if it were the infused card, but I don't think I really want it right now. Infused Mind Collapse versus Pack Morsel and Excavation Eruption. Mind Collapse being infused is nice. We don't really have backline kill other than Reap, but Reap is usually good enough for now. Let's pick Pack Morsels though. We do need some better ways to feed our Crucible Collector that we upgraded with a Shard Soul Cleaver. We can go for a Relic or for a Merchant of Steel. Kinda wanna upgrade the Crucible Collector with some actual upgrades, so let's look at that. Quick. There's also Echo Stone, upgrade a unit with +3 attack per echo. That could be something. Quick isn't really necessary when we have Lifesteal, so that's not really a great upgrade. Let's take a look at the Wurmkin unit here. Kin Host Vessel. Shell 8. Shell means unit will hatch when all shell is removed. Hatch triggers when all stacks of shell have been removed. Echoes are removed to remove shell at the end of each turn. So if you have a Kinhost vessel on a floor with 3 echoes at the end of turn, it will lose 3 shell and consume 3 echoes for it. And once it hatches, it will become a Kinhost Papa, which has 50-10, armor 20, and strike, apply reap 2 to enemy units. Which is pretty powerful. Slight downside with this unit, you can only upgrade the egg and not the summoned unit, so I'm not sure how good that really is. Because most upgrades on the egg will be pretty pointless. Except maybe endless? I'm not sure what... Oh! Can it hatch multiple times? Can it summon multiple Kinhost Papas? That would be interesting. I haven't played around with eggs yet. So I don't exactly know how they work. The if we combine this with another unit, the essence is armor 5 and strike, apply reap 1 to enemy units. That's also interesting. Oh, to enemy units. That's AoE. Interesting. I don't know, Chris, if the egg gives the upgrades to their units. That was the case with the Bogfly egg on Deathstream. Okay, that's very awesome then. It should probably be in the tooltip in that case. Because if you read it as is, you wouldn't think so. I'm gonna reroll here. Large stone. I mean, while I would like higher stats on that guy, I really don't think I can make use of a large stone here. We could also take 100 gold for 10 shards, but I'm kind of feeling that we don't want more shards. Let's look at the event. We have this guy, the Winged Aid. Sadly, we can't really afford to remove the Crucible Collector, even though some of the upgrades would be nice here. So I'm most likely gonna go with the spell. I'm gonna go with an unupgraded Sharded. The one in the center, yeah, the shard thing is random. It can be a Divine Temple, it can be just some gold, it can be a relic as well. Most of them are gonna be Divine Temples, but some are other stuff. I'm not gonna take the 100 gold here. I wanna keep my shards relatively low. Not really low. I do wanna show off the new boss, but I wanna keep it reasonable. I don't wanna die too early. Gonna buy a health upgrade and try to leave the other slot open for multi-strike or something like that. Let's move on to Daedalus. Constructed explosives explode twice. Threat level is now down to orange. Because the threat level, it depends on how many shards you have. It depends on the ring as well. So in earlier rings, a lower amount of shards will give you a high threat level, while 40 shards on the final boss will probably be a pretty low threat level. Can you see essences in the logbook? I don't know. Let's find out. It doesn't seem like it. I think I'm gonna go with a similar split as before. See what we get here. More lifesteal and more attack is good. I also just want the echoes here and the armor on this floor. I'm gonna leave the morsels in for now because we don't have a lot of morsel generation. A single shard trap will wipe the entire floor. Let's Shade Splitter again. None of these got shard upgraded. Let's also apply some Reap to these guys, so we don't have to face them on the higher floors. Got some echoes on the top going, very nice. One available now. Ah, the pack morsels. That's actually really good. I'm gonna put the pack morsels on top of my draw pile so I can feed the Crucible Collector some more next turn. This wave is gonna be a slight problem. We might have to add some Reap to them. Also, this Conduit Infiltrator has a damage shield, which makes it very annoying. I'm gonna use a Shard Trap, so only the Conduit Infiltrator will ascend. We already have the kill on the top floor. Let's use Pack Morsels as well to gain some food. Can we save our Spine Chief? It doesn't look like we can. We can take out the Deconstructed Explosive with Shards, sadly. With Reaped, because Reaped only triggers after combat. I should have put the Reap on the backliner actually, because the frontliner is gonna die to the Crucible Collector. Well, these things will take some time before I fully understand them. It's now why the train steward here as well. This guy is a sweeper, huh? Sweep 4, that's very annoying for these morsels. Not much we can do about that. Let's start adding some Reap to Daedalus. Let's keep some rage up here and apply some more Reap. The Reap here actually doesn't do a whole lot, because we're not gonna be able to build up Reap echoes in combat, but it still adds a bit of damage and adds a bit of rage, so why not? That will be 90 damage from the Reap. That's not bad. That's another turn of combat, basically. Umbra Stone for Trample. Wretch with Infused. That means we could probably get by with much lower morsel generation. Like, just a pack morsels and a couple of Shade Splitter will be enough for us. But we also don't have room for that many morsels, is somewhat of a problem. Umbra Stone is good. Could work well on the Crucible Collector, actually. Especially once we get the Spine Sheath behind them. I'm gonna go with the Umbra Stone then. Alloyed Construct with Infused. There's also a Morsel Made. Hunger. Feed on units with Eaten. Triggers when a unit with Eaten is summoned. Gorge +2/+2. Huh. So whenever we summon a morsel, it will immediately eat it. Ultimate Trash Can. Interesting unit. What's its essence? +10 health and hunger, feed on units with Eaten. That's a really interesting essence, because that means you don't have to have capacity for multiple morsels. You can just put them down one by one and they will immediately get eaten. So that would be a great upgrade on any Gorge unit. Inert, Multi-Strike 1 and Gorge gain Fuel 1. Ooh, that's also very interesting, especially with something like a Morsel Made. There are so many options to build your totally overpowered unit. I'm gonna skip here though. We need the extra capacity so we can easily put our champion and our main unit on the same floor. An infinite with the Morsel Made. Yeah, I can imagine that that would possibly lead to some infinites. How do you get draw though? And I want to give that Morsel Made to Shadow Eater now. That would be fun, yeah. Gonna go to the left here. So we have a Divine Temple. We can not use the synthesis effect with units that were already synthesized. You can't use them as sacrifices, nor can you put other units into them. As you can see, we can sacrifice a Train Steward, but the only targets for it will be other Train Stewards. Which can act as a purge, kinda. But it's 25 shards, that's a rather expensive purge, I think. True Stone, upgrade a spell with +10 magic power and piercing. Or Twin Stone, we have seen that one before. Hell Pact, Awoken Rail Spike is how you can do an infinite with that. But yeah, I mean, Hell Pact Awoken Rail Spike has a lot of options for infinites already, so. We didn't pick the... Wretch, so we don't really want to remove Shade Splitters at the moment. I'm gonna go for these Perils of Production, get them out of here. The Train Stewards are pretty easy to play. And I want to increase the amount of, or the density of infused cards in my deck so I can generate more shards. Morsel Maker. +5 health and resolve +6/+6. That's pretty cool. It just basically skips the Entumbra Morsel and Magma Morsel and just eats them immediately. In quotes. So it's gonna be resolve +6/+6. How many runs am I doing today? My goal is to do at least 3, probably 4. I'll just keep going. And see how long I last, basically. Let's look at the champion upgrades. Multi-Strike 1? Ooh, that's tempting. Decayer is also very good. Decayer plus Infector has a lot of synergy, because the strike will always trigger Echo. Will always trigger Inspire, because you gain an Echo, and that will apply Reap. Yeah, they buffed all the morsels, literally all of them. As you can see here, and Umbra Morsel is 6 health now, has 6 health, gives 6 health. Magma Morsel is 6 attack, has 6 attack. Excavator is now plus 3 health and lifesteal. Morsel Jeweler is plus 3 health and 3 attack is for the Excavator, plus 3 health and damage shield 1. And Morsel Miner is plus 6. Still, that one stays the same. Or was it plus 5 before? I'm not sure. Rubble Morsel is now plus 2 attack and plus 2 health on top of the energy. So it's actually quite good. It's actually really reasonable. Was plus 5. I'm getting this mixed up because I've played on the private beta before, and it was plus 6 for a while there. I like the multi-strike to trigger the Inspire on Crucible Collector more often, so it gains more rage. We're not up against the Clan Seraph. Not up against Seraph the Chased, so we can go with rage stuff. We could also go with this. That's a lot of boss damage and wave damage. Yeah, I like it. I want to mix it up with Decayer and Infector. Let's take a look here. Consume removal. No. Although, we could basically get multiple additional uses out of these cards. That would be something. Cost reduction. I am gonna go for another one on Crucible extension. That could also be something I dupe later, potentially. Consume removal, probably not, although it wouldn't be bad on pack morsels, but that will make broken memories worse again. Unless I want to give another unit trample, which isn't really useful. But I'm fine with that. We don't have to rely on broken memories. Double stack, we could increase the amount of reap we apply. Shelter is actually a pretty good double stack target, but that's not gonna be our main defensive mechanism, so I'm less interested in that. Do we wanna pact anything here? I don't think so. I think we probably go for a couple more shards here, and then we take the relic and try to use those 2 divine temples to get up to 100 or slightly over it, so we can face the final boss. Non-boss enemy units enter with spikes 4, but we gain a random artifact for it. That seems very reasonable. Okay, we have the Light Harnesser Plus, which still has the same resource trigger, giving it plus 3 attack, but they start with 817 stats and have regen 10 by base. I am considering not setting up on the top because of these guys gaining attack. And we can't really feed the Crucible Collector right now. So we can't take that much damage, but we also need some offensive power. What if we set up here? And then play Sharded and Shade Splitter on this floor. That will give us... I think I've decided not to set up on the top floor, so I can easily do that. These guys will be annoying to deal with, but that's okay. This will apply Reap to them, so that's gonna be nice. I mean, that's good enough. That's all we really need here. If I... This guy has Reap 8. So if I put 2 crystals, 2 shards, echoes, 2 echoes there, that will be enough to kill them. We also want to use some echoes on this floor. That will do. Because these echoes are gonna decay, no, I'm gonna use them on the bottom floor for the rage on the Crucible Collector. Pack Morsels, currently not a great card to play. Finally we get the Crucible extension. I think we have to go for another point of capacity later. Didn't get a whole lot of Reap onto those guys. One moment, please. Gotta disable some notifications here. I'm sorry for that. You can't just infinitely stack stewards on one another. Yeah. This guy comes with 2 spikes, 60 health and 80 armor. That's pretty buff. These guys, they need a little bit more help to die. I'm gonna play the Shard Splitter here. So the front guy dies and this one will die to the Train Stewards on the top. Morsel Excavator has low health, but we can fix that with the Shelter. We don't need Trample this turn. We can apply Reap to our own units, but that would be a really bad idea. Let's Shelter so our Morsel survives and we can finally start getting lifesteal. We don't want to get the Umbra Stone back anyway, so... This guy will probably die to the Reap. But to be safe, I'm gonna add another shard here. Oh, another Morsel is nice. Top floor is already dying. I wonder what happens if I apply Reap to a Morsel. Will it get eaten? Let's find out. It will still get eaten, so we can use that to generate more charged echoes on this floor and trigger more Inspire. And as you can see, we already have the necessary power to win this fight. Boss fights will be generally pretty easy for us. Porcupine enters with 2 spikes, very fitting for a Porcupine. And has 3 rage as well. Let's apply all the shards here. And Reap. Shards. I mean echoes. Let's also add some more lifesteal. These will actually die to the spikes, huh? Well, we win anyway, so... Worn Grindstone. Friendly units get +3 attack. Upside, +3 attack for everyone. Downside, every mortal will now attack and suicide themselves into spikes. That's a double-edged sword, but I'm gonna take it. Soul Cripple, consume, apply Reap 13. That's a lot of Reap. Return Soul. Return a spell card from the discard pile to your hand and apply Infused -1 cost and consume. Apply Infused -1 cost and consume. That seems good. Really good. Yeah, I feel like we want this. Return soul. Prism retrieval. Consume infused. Draw unit and apply. Definitely not for us. Grovel, feast. Feast might be something because we don't have exactly a ton of capacity. So if we want to feed multiple morsels a turn, feast might help with this. But we also don't have that many morsel generators, so we're a bit limited in how well we can use feast. Grovel would help generate morsels, but we currently lack the space. I feel like skip. Oh, a post-combat event. We have our Shards back. Gives us 25 gold whenever we play it. If we let them hold on to it, it will become 0 cost and 35 gold. That's even better. So let's do that. I want to look for multi-strike for my Crucible Collector. That would be very nice. And also try to find some new events. Gonna reroll. Could just upgrade a Train Steward, but that seems hardly necessary. So I think we don't do it right now. Well, I think we do that. +20/+20 and a free Purge. That seems very nice. What's in the Divine Temple here? Purge Stone? Maybe. Extreme Stone. +30 magic power. If we want to use a Purge Stone, maybe on a Shade Splitter, just to keep the deck thin. Yep, I'm gonna buy it. Purge Stone here on a Shade Splitter. And we will have 65, so we need another 35 on these last two temples. That should be achievable. I don't think we don't even have a target for the Extreme Stone, so we can't even buy it if we wanted to. Yeah, let's move on. Seal of Aggression. Umbra's enemy units get multi-strike. Crystal Cloak can be scary with Lifesteal as our main defensive mechanic. We need to set up on the top floor. But I think we can do this. It's not a bad start. Let's also get rid of one of these guys. Broken Memories now has a use with that Return Soul card we picked up. Let's apply some Reap and gain some Shards on this floor so we can kill the Collector. Let's also apply some Shards to that guy. Reap, I mean. Block a hit with the Train Steward here, so our other Train Steward stays alive for a bit longer. Finally, we found the Crucible extension. Anything we need to do on this floor? Yeah, probably a Shard Trap. Actually, the Shard Trap. This guy has Stealth 2. 23 attack, 17 health. That's really scary. Well, let's start building up some shards on this floor. Reap will kill the weaker ones. That's definitely useful. This morsel will now suicide because of the added attack. That sucks, but it's okay. And we apply some armor on the top and trigger our Inspire. Yeah, we need some help here on the top floor. That's not a surprise. Let's apply some Reap to these enemies. I'm gonna get a second Crucible extension. I'm not gonna need this afterwards. 2 spaces should usually be enough. Too bad we can't get through to the overcharge tank. Yep, we're simply not gonna be able to break through. Let's see what morsels we have here. Damage shield seems unnecessary. I think most of all, because we do have the lifesteal, we want extra attack. So let's use these morsels on this middle floor. $12 damage is acceptable. This guy already dies. Let's bring back the Crucible extension for 1 more capacity next turn. No, actually this turn. Maybe I should have waited on that then. Let's kill these guys off and start reaping on that enemy. Alright, it will also be infused now. That's a nice benefit. Let's go with pack morsels and 3 shade splitters to generate a bunch of morsels for us. I should probably have played the shelter, but that's fine. This guy doesn't sweep. Definitely want the maximum stats and lifesteal. And these morsels will be used as fodder. I'm also gonna bring back a shard trap here, so we can kill the backliners. Morsels, playing morsels here doesn't actually help. I'm gonna play them on the next floor, because these guys can kill 5 morsels a turn, so we wouldn't be able to get rid of many stealth stacks at all. But once they are dead, it's only the crystal cloak, so we can do quite a bit of stealth removal there. Let's also apply more Sharder to that guy. Reap, I mean. And then bring back another Sharded. This is a stealth removal on the bottom floor. It's an energy next turn. We might need the energy next turn. 5 stealth. I think we can deal with that. Let's also keep reaping them. One of these as a jump blocker. Actually, it should be this one as a jump blocker, because this one gives us extra health. And there we go. Temperate Talisman. We don't have anything with magic power. I'm gonna skip it. Extract 3. Draw 3. Apply consume to drawn spells. That's powerful. Ancient Resonance. Deal 5 damage to enemy units per echo. And there's another soul cripple. I think I'm gonna skip. Nothing here is really what we want. Cannibalize. Excavation Eruption with infused. That could be good. Could be helpful with dealing with backliners that have a bit more HP due to our shards potentially. I'm gonna pick it up. It is also infused, which is pretty important to us, honestly. And we gain the upgraded Sharded. It's now 0 cost and gives us 35 gold. That's really nice. I want some relics. And card removals are also good. Let's also get this relic. Base charge. Add 2 echoes to each floor at the start of battle. I feel like we can't really work with Volatile Gorge in this deck. That doesn't quite work, although our units will be fine thanks to the Forever Flame. Crucible Extension will also be fine because of our upgrades. Less so on the pack. Morsel's Excavation Eruption becomes good. Returned Soul will be pretty hard to use, as will be these Shard Traps. I'm gonna go with the base charge. Box Line. When a spell with Consume is played, gain 1 shard. Echo. I like the idea of that. Let's also buy some removals. Shard Traps are decent for killing backliners. I don't really want to get rid of them, but now that we have the Excavation Eruption, I think they are slightly less effective. I'm gonna cut 1 and a Train Steward. Train Stewards still matter, slow us down on the first cycle. We do now have a Consume sub-theme with the Return Soul. Giving our spells Consume, so Box Slime could be interesting. I'm gonna try it out. And onwards to Fel. We now have 65 shards, which is still threat level orange, which is usually about where I want to be. Rage Fel? Sure. I don't think these statues can be sharded, but they will be upgraded to higher health, depending on the amount of shards you have. Fel has multi-strike 2 now, thanks to our shards. Uh-oh. Let's see. Definitely want you two up there. You can go here. Do we want to start building shards on the top already? I'm actually just gonna reap this guy. We are gonna get some shards when we hit this Alabaster Guardian next turn. But you know what, I'm gonna make one anyways. Hey Zero, welcome. Yeah, we're playing a new clan. The new clan from the beta. Let's Excavation Eruption and hope we hit at least one backliner here. Nice. Give us back some energy. Shard Trap to reap on Fel. I do want this statue down this turn. That means we have to play Sharded. Nothing has consumed just yet. More attack is what I want right now. Ooh, what's available here? Umbra Stone. That's probably not gonna matter at the moment. Let's pick up the Crucible extension, play it, then get it back to the top of our draw pile. And let's just keep building Rage here. Or put Sharded. Yeah, these are echoes. This clan has a lot of things that depend on the amount of echoes and stuff. There's our final Crucible extension. Let's apply a lot of Reap to Fel here. $21 damage per shard, and we have 9, we'll have 10 shards here, so that's 200 damage to them. Reap is pretty decent against flying bosses. We can't make those survive. No, we can. 12, 22, then... Oh, that guy has sweep, right. Right. We can't do anything then. And I don't want to feed them any further also. Buffed up Master of Light with same Slay Trigger, but 1250. That's pretty impressive stats. We need some Reap on these guys if we want to be able to kill them. Probably focusing on the backliner is the correct choice here. I don't actually want Trample right now, because that means the Spine Chief is not gonna strike. Hey, Rossum, thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. 4th month already. Asks, is this clan combo called Umbra? Umbra? How about Umbra? We have Returned Soul in hand. We can get pretty much anything. For example, the Shelter. Let's gain some morsels first and foremost. What do we want here? We could gain another Sharded back and start reaping on these guys. It's not the worst idea. This guy has multi-strike. We do want to take them out. A single Sharded will be enough. Other than that, I feel like we can probably generate enough shards on this top floor to deal with that guy. Will this consume? It shouldn't, right? It does. Okay. Good to know. I wonder if they also changed how that works with... how that works with Gifts for a God. We do have a 16 attack sweeper here, but we also have 16 armor for everyone. That balances out nicely. I think it's finally time to use the Umbra Stone. Let's weaken this guy a bit. Apply more Reap to Fell. Whoops. I just redraw my draw pile, so there was nothing to bring back there. That's fine. Let's gain another 35 gold and just finish this off. Well, that worked quite well. The buff monsters are pretty neat. Wurmkin etchings. Consume. Return 5 consumed spells to the top of your draw pile. Ooh, that's potentially really powerful. Wretch. But there's an infused Shroud Mitosis and that's exactly what I want. Honestly, I think we're good in terms of capacity. We have a bit of a rough start because we need to draw into our Crucible extension first. But having more draw will help with that. We do want to get some shards. Let's also look at these things here. I don't think it can return itself, but it could return other copies of it, yes. Let's upgrade our Crucible Carver with Multi-Strike finally. I'm also gonna upgrade one Train Steward just with stats. That might be useful for some special cases. Yeah, you could potentially build your hand every turn with consume cards with that card. That's certainly somewhat powerful, yes. Another Purge Stone. Twin Stone. Is there anything we want to put a Twin Stone on? I do see something. Spell Chain. When played, a copy of this card will be added to hand with Purge. And +1 cost. Generate more money. Sacrifice the Steward into Battle Steward. That could be something. The Bone Shaker barely even stops before the scrawny winged scavenger starts talking. You know, I got this feeling. I can't shake that we've met already in another life. Lots of times, in fact. Like we just keep doing this over and over and over again, but just go on resetting and forgetting. Makes you think about our existence and larger purpose here, you know? Your everyday metaphysical despair kind of stuff. Anyways, why don't I help you ruffle those bastards' feather, eh? How about an existential ruffling? Get for the greater good. 2 cost? Recruit a basic enemy to your side. Clear its status effects. Wow! Or I don't think a little ruffle will be enough. Upgrade a unit. Huh. A basic enemy, so a non-shard upgraded. Can't use it against Divinity, right? Because every enemy in that fight will be shard upgraded. So I think I'm gonna go for a unit upgrade. Okay, I hear you. Give him an old-fashioned hellborn talking to, am I right? They bring a knife, you bring a sword. They bring a big-ass winged, you bring a bigger-ass demon. Look, the metaphor is a bit is a bit of a work in progress, but you get the idea. If you want them to hurt, you're gonna need some bite, so pick your poison. Upgrade weakness. Upgrade a unit with strike, apply melee weakness 1. Or upgrade a unit with summon, apply sap 4 to enemy units. Apply melee weakness 1 on strike? Put that on our multi-striker? That sounds very interesting. Basic means not enhanced by shards. Okay. You wouldn't think it by looking at me, but I'm not much of a fighter myself. If I was though, there's the one I'd pick. See you in another life. Sapstone is insane for Transcendent decks. Yeah, especially if you put it on the Endless Transcendent itself. Any purchase we want to make? Probably not now. Now we could either go multi-strike 1, which will generate more echoes. And thus apply more reap. But we could also apply more reap by default. And then our spells would apply more reap. But I think I'm gonna go for the multi-strike because we also scale rage with it. So that's pretty neat. And then I think we move on. Probably go to the left side on the next one. Numbers enemy units enter with spikes 5 were still threat level orange. Spikes 5 makes it a bit annoying. But we can probably remove most of these purifiers with sharded stuff. Reap, I mean. I do want to set up on the bottom, so I can get rid of these purifiers fast. Let's play our units, so we gain the extra benefits from Reap. Okay, the copy doesn't create another copy, which would be a bit crazy. Can't really use the Shroud Mitosis right now. I'm gonna keep playing more Shards here. Just to generate rage on the Crucible Collector. We need some draw. Do I want to Broken Memories back the Sharder? Probably not. Then we'll deal with the Collector. And let's keep those things flowing. I need some defense. These buffed up with Gilded Wings are scary. Fine. I'm gonna do this just to add more shards. This is bad. I shouldn't have set up on the bottom floor. Should have dealt with the purifiers with Reap. That was pretty big mistake, I would say. Huh. Okay, looks like we found a way to save our Crucible Collector here, thanks to Shelter. Never mind, that's not even enough. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Let's try that again. Let's set up at the top. That's just reasonable, right? Let's also use the excavation eruption so we can shard this guy some more times. And I'm not gonna return soul actually, because I want to draw into my capacity increase card as soon as possible. We have to reap this guy. Want to be able to play one cost if I draw it. This Purifier will survive a turn. Enemies all have spikes, so these morsels will just suicide themselves. Even... No, the 6 health morsels are fine. As long as they're not in front. This is probably the best morsel damage I can deal to that guy. .33 health is enough to survive. Gilded Wing will die on the top. That will kill this one. And that one. Feel like we need the armor because we still don't have capacity up. Finally, we got to that. We need a lot of reap on the backliner here. Wait, that was the wrong card. Oops, I thought that was the soul return one. Well, we managed to reap the backliner enough. Although we didn't gain any morsels this turn. This is a problem. But there's no sweep this time, so... Let's bring back the Crucible extension. So we can finally start using morsels. These aren't the ones I really wanted, but they will do. This next wave is gonna be brutal. We have a few cards that help. We need only to prevent the hit from the Gilded Wing. And then our Crucible Collector can lifesteal. Nice. What else? Shroud Mitosis on a Magma Morsel, perhaps? That worked out very well. Extremely well, in fact. Nephil with Rage 8, 50 attack right now. That's pretty scary, usually. Shouldn't really be a huge deal for us. The reap damage is really doing a great job here. Let's gain more gold. It's too late for the Umbra Stone to do anything. But I'm just gonna consume it out. So I have a better chance to draw into our money sharded again. Which I'm gonna play twice, then return to my hand and play twice. That was a lot of extra money we just gained from that. You're showing pretty good restraint regarding your shard amount. I usually can't help it, and I'm at 150 at this point. Yeah, I feel like slow but steady is the way to go with packed shards. Forgotten Trade, consume, gain an energy per shard. That's extremely good. Soul Siphon also. Consume, fill empty slots with echoes. Apply Ember Drain 1 to friendly and enemy units. Ugh. Ember Drain 1 to friendly and enemy units. That's potentially a lot of Ember Drain. Instead, I'm gonna gain the energy per echo on Forgotten Trade. That seems quite good. Engine upgrade, that's another way to increase our energy. It's infused as well. And I don't really want Void Binding in this deck, so let's do this. And we definitely want to gain another 20 shards. We can only gain 25. We can use that to get rid of our final Train Steward. Instead, we could put a True Stone on Excavation Eruption. Giving it Piercing. That might be nice. Yeah, that makes sense. The Twin Stone on the Forgotten Trade, is that ever necessary? We don't have X-Cost cards, so that doesn't seem necessary. On the Shroud Mitosis, no, we don't need to play that twice a turn. On the Return Soul, maybe. On the Broken Memories, I like that. I like that the most. That's probably too expensive to play the second copy of. Let's go with the Broken Memories. Now we are above 100, so we will fight the optional boss after the Seraph. Let's see what's in store here. Gorge ability to trigger an additional time, yes. Mind checks we could set up on the middle floor very easily, yes. Don't need the first Hell Pact, we don't have X-Cost cards. Serrated Mandibles. Deal 5 damage to the back enemy unit when one or more echoes are added to the floor. Backline clearing with our Spine Chief. That doesn't seem bad at all. That feels like it's gonna be a lot better than... Oh, I could gain more shards by duping. That's right. If I dupe a card that has a shard upgrade, I have to pay the shard cost again. For example, on this, it's a bit less. 10 instead of 15, 5 instead of 10, and 15 instead of 25. Let's pick up these mandibles. That seems reasonable. Our most important thing before was getting to our Umbra Stone. No, not Umbra Stone. Crucible extension, so we have capacity for morsel. That's no longer the case. Now I think the most important thing is Shroud Mitosis. But we want to upgrade that before we dupe it. To have 0 cost. To be 0 cost, rather. Double armor and shelter seems good. Is that good? If we have the energy to play it, it should be pretty good. And I think we can easily get that. That seems unnecessary. I would rather cost reduce it, but I think I'm gonna cost reduce the shelter instead. What am I gonna cost reduce? The shelter, the excavation eruption? It's one of the two. It's probably the shelter, the excavation eruption actually. Let's reroll. Go with the cost reduction on the excavation eruption. Consume removal on the forgotten trade. Do we really need that? No. Don't think we need consume removal at all. I think we purge now. Shadesplitter is still most of our muscle generation. Gonna get the final train steward out and then some of the unupgraded reaps. I want to keep the shard trap in as kind of a toolbox option to fetch with the return soul. Stupe the shroud mitosis and then onwards to Seraph. Let's see how this goes. Seraph has Stealth 6, Spell Shield 3. Stealth 6, okay. That's gonna run out over the course of the flying phase though, so it's not a huge problem. Let's start out by consuming a Shade Splitter. No, actually the Shard Trap. I do want you to die immediately. The rest of this can go on Seraph, I think. And let's start feeding. This guy has so many triggers. I'm actually gonna use the Umbra Stone as my consume card here. Actually, I could go with Crucible Extension. No, Umbra Stone is fine. We can still Shade Split or Shroud Mitosis. Drawing a shard, that sucks. But it's fine. This is where the upgraded train steward comes in handy. Not this turn, but from here on out. I am gonna use... Oh, you have strike, apply sap 5 to the attacked unit. That's pretty mean. Let's shard you up. And then we're gonna get some morsel snacks in here. Shelter. Alright, that hits the Seraph on that floor. Well, we're gonna take 12, that's fine. We have a bit of health to spare. Let's gain 4 energy here. Then engine upgrade, probably on the bottom floor. Build some morsels. Lifesteal? Lifesteal seems very nice. Let's make a couple of copies. Is there anything I want to return? I am just gonna return a Shade Splitter and then not play it, just to make it 0 cost for the future. Start with the Shards. Shade Splitter, I mean. Cube these. Reap this guy because I don't want to deal with those things. Anything we want to get back on the top to the top of our deck? Honestly, Shade Splitter. I could keep this around for later. Let's armor you up and then play out these Vengeful Shards. The melee weakness plus trample stuff the Crucible Collector can do is pretty evil. Let's consume this. We no longer need extra capacity. This is fine. I think we can start sharding the Seraph some more. Because there's no enemy that has to be dealt with immediately. Lifesteal on this guy seems nice, just in case. Let's see what we get from this. That's actually a nice morsel. Attack over health. Let's actually create more lifesteals. That was actually a poor choice. It's fine. I don't need to play it right now. And the final wave is coming up. This one has consumed anyways. Bring back the broken. Oh, you can keep bringing these back. It's not what I'm gonna want this time. Just gonna bring back a Sharded. But that can be quite powerful. That's already 1000 damage from Reap without even considering combat. And combat adds a lot more Shards and Reap to the Seraph. And there we go, we won... What is this? The Last Divinity. Either on victory or defeat, the divinity's endless destruction rages on. Divine Intervention. Gain Shard of Divinity. The Last Divinity attacks your pyre every turn. Its damage increases for every 10 shards. So, we gain the Shard of Divinity. Your pyre starts each battle with armor 100. So we have 100 extra armor on our pyre. The Divinity is on all three present on all 3 floors. Top floor is 8 attack sweep, which is rough if you want to use mortals. Middle floor is 7 attack multi-strike 1. And bottom floor is 8 attack trample. So the bottom floor is certainly the easiest to deal with. You just can't really use imps for jump blocks. If you want that, you have to go to the middle floor, or morsels or stuff like that, because of the trample. But if you have a frontline tank, the 8 damage trample is not a big deal. The sweep is gonna be really rough for us. The top one also has Pyre Vengeance 13, deals 13 damage to the Pyre at the end of each turn. And then there is Purify. After debuff deals damage to these units, remove that debuff. So that's gonna be a bit of a problem with the Reap. We can't just stack Reap and keep having it do damage over and over again. But that's fine. Our units are quite powerful. We want to be on the second floor, I think. All the enemies are shard enhanced, but they start pretty weakish. Well, these guys have multi-strike when they are buffed, but still, that's not a whole lot of damage compared to what we have dealt in the Seraph fight. Now, as I remember this combat, there wasn't a relentless phase back when I last played this, so you had to defeat the Last Divinity on, like, while there were enemies every single turn. That is no longer the case as far as I am aware. Let's get... Actually, let's play this here and get the Shard Trap, so we can get rid of these backliners. These guys, they have in-kind gain 2 attacks, so we just buffed them quite a bit. But we killed the multi-strikers at least. 13 damage to the Pyre. We still have a couple of turns to deal with that. Oh, Divinity just said something. I missed it entirely. I'm sorry. Curious. Let's apply some Reaped. Just want to maximize the amount of echo gain here, so we can... I just killed my Crucible Collector. That was really stupid of me. I forgot these guys had a pretty significant incant trigger. Whoops. That was really bad just now. Let's try this again. I think that was a reasonable play. But we need to make sure to not buff these guys beyond our limits. Maybe I just reap somewhere else. Or reap these guys instead. I do want the morsels, of course. 22 times 2? 15 health? I don't like the idea of that. Reap 2, that's gonna be 12 damage. That's gonna be 14 damage. And that's gonna be 16 damage. That's enough to kill these guys. The Clipped Shaman will stay alive, but that's fine. He's not gonna be a problem. Extinguish deals 5 damage to a front unit. That's also not gonna be a problem. Purify on the backline, huh? Think this calls for an excavation eruption. Nice. Let's apply some trample. Where can this train steward do something? On the top floor, I guess. The sweep is not gonna matter too much. Can just pound the Last Divinity for a bit. Anything I want to bring back right now with the broken memories? Not yet. I think what I want back is gonna be... maybe the engine upgrade, actually. Yeah, one more energy each turn is nice. And we'll bring back the broken memories again, so we have it available later on. We need to get through to this Clip Guardian. Whoa, that's an enemy wave. I wanna try drawing into... Shroud Mitosis, yep, that's what I was looking for. Didn't find it though. So I guess we are gonna use these morsels right hand here. That kills this wave. And then just add some more Reap and Shards. I can't really use that on the top floor or really anywhere. This is fine, we already kill all of them, nice. I'm a bit surprised. But I guess just the Inspire here. He adds 2 more echoes, which triggers the Inspire twice, so Reap 4, that's 24 damage to everyone. Huh. I guess it's the Trample melee weakness interaction, which is pretty crazy. Let's see, what do we have here? Wild Wings, 10 damage on Extinguish, and the Conduit Redirector. Let's excavate here. Let's make a few copies of this morsel. This is fine. I could kill the Wild Wings. Nope, I can't. It's not gonna be enough, so I'll add that damage to the Divinity instead. We no longer need Forgotten Trade. So I'm just gonna use that for more Reap. The health is silly low when you're used to Covenant 25. Yeah, I can see that. I expect them to have a lot more than this. Anything we need to take out here? These Shade Wings attack 3 times. That's actually very scary. I want to remove at least one of them. Some extra health and armor also doesn't hurt. Healer, Apprentices, Steel Wings. Let's Excavation Erupt here. Let's Reap. Oh, we find a great morsel. That's 3 units. This will be 6 units, so I can place 1 more morsel here. That guy has Sweep, that's a problem. None of my morsels can survive the sweep. That sucks. Still gonna dupe the morsel just for the extra echo. These guys don't have harvest triggers or anything like that, right? Anything we want back? Not really. Soon the armor will be broken. Let's generate some morsels. Oh, that's nice. We did hit one of the weaker enemies there. Actually, these are absolvers. 2 of them. I should have used the excavation eruption on the bottom floor. We have a lot of energy this turn at least. Multi-strike buffer. Wild Wings, clipped reflector. Huh. The Wild Wings hitting for 20 times 2 with the multi-strike buffer. That harvest ability gets AoE when it's shard enhanced. The Shade Wing? No, Dark Wing. Dark Wings. We're pretty close to getting the kill here, but not quite there yet. Fine. Just want to consume. This is not the end. Is there Relentless now? This guy lives? The boss dies before that? Or what? Anyways. We do have the win here. Oh, might as well overkill them. As is customary in these lands. Oh yeah, Relentless. Feels a bit weird that this fight has Relentless now. Is it hope that drives you forward or something darker? There we go. $17 damage taken. Oh, the guy has stealth. Ah, yes. I missed that. Some of these shard upgraded enemies, I don't really know the abilities of them yet. Yay, we won. First victory against the Divinity on stream. And we have unlocked the Divinity stamps on a couple of cards here. And level up the Wurmkin by quite a bit. There we go, an entire new page for the Last Divinity DLC. As you can see, there are the Wurmkin combos, the 10. You have the Divine Victories here. Divine Card Mastery. The new cards that you can master as well. Everything's on this new page. Wurmkin unlock start at level 4, I think. Okay. Who's under Wurmkin? There's no one there. There shouldn't be anyone there. This is Hellhound this is Wurmkin Hellhound. This is Hellhound Wurmkin. Main and off clan. That symbol. Oh, this one? That's clanless. That's clanless cards. Yeah, that was our first DLC run, showing off the new clan, the Reap and Echo mechanics, some new relics, and especially the new fight. Shards give us a couple of points as well, not just the coins now.